Startups taking over the world, that's what we hear now. But how can we get Nigerian startups to scale up and scale smarter? That's what Jesse is here to talk about. Jesse Magwu is a DevOps and data scientist specialist, joins us from our Abuja studio. Hi, Jesse, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Ini.
Great. So when we hear of startups, we've had several conversations about their funding, what problems they should solve to stay relevant. But now we're talking about how to get them to scale up and stay smart. What are those tips that you have up your sleeves?
Yeah. I would say for startups in general, they should make use of free tools, right? So in the tech space today, we have what we call open source tools. That's tools you don't necessarily need to pay to access, right? It's available to the public. So for startups starting out, when you're looking to scale, they can start up with these tools because it would help them to at least gain some traction before scaling out. So aside that, I would say they can leverage a lot of cloud credits, right? So we have something we call startup credits, where startups can apply for, maybe on AWS, on Azure, or different cloud platforms. It's available for everyone. So these are ways that they can leverage on that, and also leveraging on AI to make use of it to basically enhance their process and make things more efficient. So I think that will help.
Yeah, and I believe when you talk about being smarter, where time is very precious. So reducing time to market, build products that are safer, these are the features that these startups should be very conscious of in whatever they're building.
Yes.
So what role does DevOps play in this?
Okay, I would like to give an analogy in terms of scaling, right? So imagine you have like a booker, right, where they sell, say, rice and a lot of maybe Nigerian staples, right? And by chance, you have a situation where you just have an influx of customers. So normally maybe you had like 10 customers coming to buy rice, but today you have 500 customers. So ideally for a business owner, the best thing to do is to either increase your space to handle that amount of customers or to create more outlets. So this is basically what DevOps in general helps in the technology sector to do, right? Anticipates where there is high points of traffic, prepare companies, secure them, and make sure that they are ready to handle like more traffic, and you're able to scale up, that's handle more traffic, and also scale down, just so that you can save resources and optimize cost.
Yeah, talking about resources, I think the hardest to get will be funds. We have to consider this in the midst of all this scaling up and working smarter.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so are there any success story of Nigerian startups using this DevOps that can stand as a motivation, you know, for other startups at this time?
Oh, yes. Off the top of my head, I can mention a few. I think we have Paystack, that is Nigerian owned. We have Flutterwave. We have PiggyVest, right? So these startups, they started from somewhere, right? And they were able to make use of at least best DevOps practices to be able to get to where they are. They're able to make sure that, okay, today if we are handling like millions of users, we are able to handle this. And this is so that they can build brand loyalty, right? So other processes might be right, but if you can't make your systems reliable and for people to always know that, oh, whenever I log into this app, whenever I go into this website, I don't have issues, then you are basically damaging your brand loyalty. So that is just some startups that I think in Nigeria that's doing it right. So yeah.
Yeah, but those ones you mentioned are more in the fintech, the finance. Don't we have outside other sectors? You know that they're using this and they're making.
No, yeah, we do.
So like what sector?
We do. We have, okay, maybe for health, we have like Reliance Health, right? So they handle like health tech, right? So we have ed tech, we have a couple of startups over there. We equally have maybe BuyPower as well, right? That handles electricity, right? And yeah, a whole lot of startups that are doing it, right? Yeah.
So for you, as we know with all the data scientists that you have done, if you were to advise an individual or a group of individuals who want to start up, where would you ask
Okay.
them to look to first?
Yeah. Okay. So first things first, I would say look at how you want your initial MVP to be, right? So the first 3 months of traction, right? You want to at least get like a holistic view of how you intend to build the system. You get your team, right? Make it as lean as possible just so that you can save on costs, right? It's a startup, so definitely you'd have to have someone that would be able to wear multiple hats, right? So aside that, look into cloud, right? Leverage their free startup credits, right? If you leverage this, you definitely know that for the first 3 to 6 months, you can save up on costs. With this, you also make use of, with the advent of AI, make use of AI to optimize a lot of processes, right? This is just so that you're able to save up on manpower, you're able to save up on costs, and equally to just make your processes more efficient and push out something fast. So with startups, you need to get that straight that you need to push fast. You need to build fast because you have a lot of competitors and you need to make sure that your time to market is on point. So yeah.
Funding, we saw in April there was an increase in funding, but by last year, funding into startups on the continent had reduced. How is it now getting funding for startups? Is it getting easier? Are investors still looking? I know it's mostly foreign investors. Unfortunately, one would have expected that, local investors could also jump in. But how is that environment now, even though we saw some encouraging numbers in April?
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question, Ini. So in terms of funding, I would say it's all about looking at the trend of the global market, right? So right now, the current trend is in AI, right? So as a startup, you have to have the global economy in mind, right? You make sure that whatever you're bringing to the market is not obsolete. It is something that both the nationals, that's people in Nigeria, can relate to, and also the international market if you intend to scale internationally. So in terms of looking for funding, I would say look at the global trends, follow it, and try to see how you can adjust your startup or adjust your business plan according to those trends. So initially we had, we can see over the years, we've had trends in maybe quantum computing, we've had trends in blockchain, right? And currently we are in the AI era. So if you're, as a startup, if you're not leveraging AI, then you're probably doing something wrong.
All right, AI is it. Thank you so much, Jesse Amangu, DevOps and data scientist specialist, for your time and your view.
Yeah, thank you very much.